So, what gets me about Stardew Valley, the video game?
Yeah.
It keeps sucking me in. When you get to a point where you think the game, you've accomplished something big. Like let's say you finish the community center. Okay? You got the community center. The community center rebuild is something that you work to build up to from the time you really start the game. That's like the biggest challenge. But as you're working to finish the community center, other things are starting to happen, like the bus becomes alive. Then the mines open up and things around the game start to happen. Now that I've done all that, dude, more storylines keep emerging. And this is going to be a spoiler alert for anybody that's listening to this that is maybe starting Stardew Valley and maybe in year 1 or year 2. But once you finish the community center, you end up shutting down JoJo Mart. JoJo Mart goes in ruin. But then another community center star type thingy, another bundle appears in JoJo Mart the next day. And when you when you get the glittery rock removed from the side of the mines, now I can pan for gold in the rivers. So I'm doing the things, and it just the storyline just keeps building in the game. The game just keeps offering more and more and more. And then there was a recent update that happened to the game this last week. So I'm like, what was that? You know,
it was just bug fixes. I saw the update. And
then the secret forest, Jake. Did you know that there's a secret forest to the secret forest? There's a little path under bushes that you go through to get to more hardwood, because I need more hardwood in order to upgrade my house.
Dude, I love Stardew for the JoJo Mart thing, because the whole game is like a statement about capitalism. I wanted to talk about why Stardew Valley is far superior to Minecraft in your opinion, but I think we should just start the show.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What is up, boys? Welcome to the Jake and Cory podcast. I'm Jake. That's Cory. What's up, Cory?
Not much, Jake.
Oh, nice. Good to hear. I'm happy to hear it,
So let me tell you about this video game called Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Okay, so I've got a couple topics I want to get to on this show.
Yes,
okay?
Please.
First and foremost, Stardew Valley. No, I'm kidding. The inauguration happened. I feel like
yes,
it's necessary to talk about this. Yeah,
it is, because I've gone on record, people that listen to the show, hey Austin, that I said back in November when Jake was celebrating after the election, I said I wasn't going to celebrate until Uncle Joe and Cousin Cam was standing on the steps of the Capitol with their hands on top of the oldest Bible that they can find in their family. That's when I will celebrate. And the reason why I quantified that, because I didn't put anything past Rump. I wouldn't put anything past Rump. I mean, I even made a gesture to Jake that I think he wouldn't have, been beyond doing to avoid losing power. So I didn't celebrate. Now I'm celebrating. I'm now officially celebrating and can officially say congratulations, Uncle Joe and Cousin Cam. That's who I'm calling them from this point forward, Uncle Joe and Cousin Cam. I watched the entire thing, Jake, from start to finish. Yep. So any questions you have, you let me know and I can answer them.
I watched it too. It's very boring, but that's good. That's
it wasn't boring for me. It was exciting for me because it was a stamp of completion.
I agree.
That this bullshit 4 years is over.
I agree. So like when I say boring, I mean that in a good way. Like I even watched the press conference, the press hearing, and what a breath of fresh air it is to see someone other than Kayleigh McEnany in that fucking press briefing.
And dude, trust me on this. Trust me on this. It's going to be boring. There's not going to be any fireworks. It's boring as hell. Nighttime television on Thursday and Friday
there was
went into repeats because they got nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about. Because Rump gave them all the ammo they needed. Rump wrote every late night show's monologue for the last 4 years. Now they have nothing. They have absolutely nothing to go on. So we're back to boring politics. But boring, unfortunately, in this country is a controllable level. There's no anarchy. And there's still pissed off people. I don't understand why there's still pissed off people, but there's still pissed off people. But this inauguration boring yet celebratory for me. And I'll let you express how you felt about it, and then please give me an opportunity, because I got a lot of expression about the inauguration because it affected me in several different levels.
Yeah, I woke up that morning at 9 a.m. to watch the whole thing, and I watched it all the way until like 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
when they did the whole inauguration like music party thing, where they had a bunch of different people come on and perform. I don't remember that happening with Trump, by the way. It must have, but I don't remember that.
I'm sure that it did, but I don't remember it. But one of my podcast friends in Washington, D.C. said this. He made this point, and I think this is why you don't remember it. Democrat presidents have better star power pool because California is a Democratic state, and that's why you get bigger stars when there's a Democrat. But I think that we don't remember.
I think it has more to do. It has more to do with just, it's called liberal arts for a reason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. But I think that it's true that when there's a Democrat president, because Obama's inauguration was huge. I mean, had huge stars and stuff. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you want to classify Lady Gaga and Make It Loud girl, Jennifer Aniston,
J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez,
Jennifer Hudson, if you want to classify them as big stars, then no, they were huge stars. They were huge stars.
Gaga is huge, but later in the night, dude, I actually laughed my ass off at the end because it ended with Katy Perry singing at the very end.
Dude, oh, come on, man.
I laughed my ass off because soft strings, very tender moment, and then you just hear, "Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?" It's like, oh god.
Okay.
No, Katy, I don't feel like a plastic bag. Okay. Drifting through the wind. I don't.
This is what separates you and I, Jake. This is what separates me and you. Other than my massive girth of a stomach. This is what separates us, Jake. You were laughing at that moment. I was reaching for the fucking tissue box.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were.
That scene.
I hate that song. I hate that song.
I love Katy Perry. I love that song.
I'm okay with Katy Perry. I hate that song, though.
That scene of Uncle Joe and Aunt Doctor standing where the orange man stood and removed his mask when he couldn't breathe, and those fireworks going off in the background. I'm sorry.
Dude, those fireworks were intense.
Dude, you know what I'm going to repeat.
It's like, holy shit.
My friend Oscar Santana of the Michael Mayer Show probably will never hear this, but I'm going to steal his words. Oscar Santana said, you know what? They didn't have to spend so much money on a lot of other things in the inauguration that didn't happen. So they said, you know what? All the rest of the budget, put it on fireworks. put everything we got left on fireworks. Those fireworks were literally burning the essence of the previous administration that was left in the atmosphere.
They almost burned a hole in the sky.
I mean, at one point you were like, where's the Washington Monument? It is somewhere in that, dude. And the reason, and Oscar explained, because Oscar's in Washington, D.C., Oscar explained the city was so shut down that they were probably able to put fireworks anywhere and everywhere they wanted to. During the inauguration, there wasn't one business that was open in downtown D.C. Nobody was there unless they had something to do with the inauguration or they were a National Guardsman sleeping in a parking lot structure. One or the other, there was nobody else there, so the fireworks company could put fireworks wherever they want. I think that's why those fireworks look so spectacular, because they had an open freaking city to play with, and it was beautiful. And the whole time it was going off, and Katy Perry was screaming, and they cut to Cousin Cam and her plastic husband standing on the steps where I have stood. I've stood where they stood, and they're... Dude, I was a freaking ball of tears. I'm not even gonna lie. I was bawling like a baby while you were sitting back laughing at Katy Perry.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I don't know. I woke up early though that morning, and if I'm being honest, I was surprised that there wasn't even like a protest. Like there was nothing. Like it was just quiet.
I wasn't surprised because
I was kind of surprised.
Okay, here's the thing. The insurrection, though the internet warned them about it, no one was actually really prepared. For the inauguration, we overshot the runway. We literally did. We overshot the runway with protection. There, even crazy QAnon people, there was, they were saying on, and this is what I heard on Jimmy Kimmel, QAnon was claiming that, we don't have to worry about going downtown or going to DC and doing anything because the National Guardsmen, once they see these crooks, they will actually arrest them. And they were referring to Uncle Joe and Cousin Cam. So they were expecting the troops to step in and cause the problems, but I think we overshot the runway with protection, and that's the reason why nothing happened. I knew that nothing was going to happen. I think there was like a little disturbance that took place at another capital in some other city, a little small disturbance, but nothing here in Arizona, nothing down in downtown Phoenix, nothing at all. So I knew that it was going to go off with a hitch. I had a feeling that it was going to go off with a hitch because we brought out the Beyonce level security, and you couldn't sneeze at that Capitol without someone knowing.
Yeah, dude, it's been hilarious though. Like I've seen it all over Twitter. I don't have any examples, unfortunately, but like it's been so funny just seeing all the QAnoners just like, what happened? I guess I was lied to. Oh God, I've been living a lie. Like I've seen so many of those posts. Like,
dude,
it's all fake. My entire life is wrong.
The military was going to arrest Joe Biden
for what?
What? Really?
I know.
All we got was Bernie Sanders and his mittens.
And it's worth stating. I think the most significant thing that happened that day, though, the inauguration is great, but that's all pomp and circumstance.
Tradition.
I think the most important thing that happened that day was the press secretary, Jen Psaki, I think is her name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that last name right. It's spelled Psaki.
Psaki. Weird. Let's just call her Jen Psaki.
Jen Psaki. But yeah, I'm so used to Kayleigh McEnany coming out there and just saying some crazy shit about Trump. But then this lady comes out. She's very like warm and welcoming and like very just like, hey, how's it going? I'm going to try to get to as many people's questions as possible. Whereas like Kayleigh McEnany would be like, you're a liar. We're not taking questions from you, crazy shit. But the most important thing that happened was that press conference, because she went on to say, okay, Biden has already rejoined the World Health Organization. Biden has already rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. Biden is undoing the wall. He's pulled the entire budget of the wall. He's pushing the stimulus package through. And that is his first and foremost move. So it's just like not like he got in there and immediate and the pipeline. He's undoing the pipeline as well. So like he went in there and undid everything Trump did in the first day, pretty much, which says a lot about Trump. It just kind of means that Trump didn't really do a whole lot of anything.
No, because the pipeline situation has been an argument that's been going on for. I mean, I heard about the pipeline back in the Clinton era. You know what I mean? It's something that's been going on for quite some time. I haven't really done a lot of studies up on the pipeline, but if it's going to be something that's going to get our dependence off of oil, I'm kind of for it. But like I said, I haven't done a lot of research on it. But you're right. He went in and he undid. He basically, in my opinion, and a lot of people. The
big thing with the pipeline is it would destroy a lot of native land.
Yeah, and that's something that we don't want to do. And I think that we're in 2021. There are ways to be able to balance the two, where we could get this country off of our dependence of foreign oil on top of preserving native land. And I think just some smarter people need to step up to the table. And maybe there might be an opportunity for that to happen now. Who knows? But it's been an argument that's been going on for almost 20 years.
Yeah, I feel like we should follow in Europe's stead, England. You know.
Yeah.
England.
Oh
yeah, yes, the British.
Oh,
yes,
that's horrible. That's horrible.
Oi, governor. Oi, governor.
That's horrible. Thank God this isn't a video platform, because if people just saw the face that you made, God, they'd be puking up their Cheerios.
Fuck you.
But you can't dude, I do the same thing on Fat Guy Radio Show. When I do the snobby guy voice, it's the ugliest face ever. It's you do Mr. Bottom too. It's really nothing but more than, just Mr. Howe from Gilligan's Island. That's all that it is. Yeah.
Batman. Yes. But we should follow in England's footsteps, because right now they have a plan, a 10-year plan, to slowly, in 10 years, their plan is to only be manufacturing electric cars.
Yeah.
And we should follow in the footsteps. Not that you can't drive an oil, gasoline powered car. You just can't manufacture them anymore, which is, that's the best way to.
There's a balance, but we really need to focus on, getting America off of the dependency of foreign oil. That's what I would like to see.
I think, yeah.
But
I
Biden
think just off of oil in general would be great.
Oh yeah, but Biden did. He went in and he's done a lot.
He's done more in a week than
but
Trump did.
This is where it needs to happen. You talk the talk, Uncle Joe. Now you got to walk the walk, bruh. You got to walk the walk.
And he's walking it, dude.
You know what I mean? He's right now he's walking it. But you know what? Don't forget, at the end of the day, Jake, he's still a politician. At the end of the day, he's still a politician. And Cousin Cam, still a politician. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And yes, I'm celebrating the fact that we're out of the orange era, but they're still politicians at the end of the day.
But you want to talk about walking. To me, what Joe Biden did in his first day, the Olympics, where the dude runs up, takes the giant jump into the sand, and sees how far he can jump.
The long jump is what they call it, Jake.
The long jump. That's what Joe Biden, he fucking ran up and did a fucking long jump at the start of his presidency. We'll see if he does anything else.
I thought you were going to make reference to the presidential parade of non-parades. I thought that's what you were going to make a reference to, because he did do the traditional thing of getting out of the car, walking with his family. And you know what? Okay.
It's pomp and circumstance. It's what you do.
I cried there too. I cried. I cried seeing him.
I didn't cry at all.
I cried I teared up seeing him and Aunt Doctor walking up those stairs, and then when Aunt Jill put her head on his shoulder, and the emotions just overcame her, and they turned around and walked into that White House. I was a blumbering idiot. I think, you know what, Kleenex, you're welcome, Kleenex. Any of you that are Kleenex investors, you're welcome. Because I blew through at least 2 or 3 cases of Kleenexes at the inauguration. Because it was a sigh of relief, man. It was really me finally saying, yeah, there's a certain level of me being able to take a breath right now. There's a certain level of fear that has kind of like been taken off of my shoulders of being under the previous administration. And it was twofold. And I'm not saying that, everything racial is going to go away now that Joe Biden is back. No. I'm just saying that I don't feel the weight of someone in the highest position in this country echoing the sentiment of the people that are the lowest common denominator in this country. That's the weight that I don't feel anymore. That's the weight that I don't feel is looming over my children anymore. That's where a lot of my emotions were coming from. And now that there's someone in there that's in the vice president office that looks a quarter like me, I'm only giving her a quarter because she got some Asians, she got some Indians, she got some Native Americans, and some black. You put that all together, you got cousin Cam. Someone who looks a quarter like me in there.
And Tiger Woods. Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit better. But for all of you African Americans out there that are saying we finally got a black woman in the vice presidency, think back on the fact that we had a black man as the president and how much your life changed. Didn't change much, did it? So don't get too happy. She's still a politician at the end of the day.
Yeah, it still leaps forward though, man. Like
it is leaps forward. It's the weight, dude. It's the pressure of not having someone at the top stirring up the shit at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it's huge though, just to see a woman in the vice presidency role, and hopefully we'll see a woman in the presidency role.
I don't think that'll ever happen, honestly.
I don't want to talk about that with you.
I just don't,
because I disagree with you.
I know
wholeheartedly.
I would love for it to happen though, Jake, because it would be a huge step forward in this country. It would be a major step forward. And you know what, Jake? I may be as days go on, I get wronger and wronger, because there was a time, Jake, where I also said there would never be a black president.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. And I think
every day I get wronger and wronger. And you know what? Me being wrong is totally okay. If it happens, I'm going to celebrate it with you. At this point in the juncture, I don't think it will. But I said that about a black president too, and I was wrong. I can eat my wrong flakes.
I think it definitely will at some point. How soon that is, that depends.
It would be nice in our lifetime.
Ultimately, like, I do think Hillary lost mainly because she was a woman, which is just so sad and unfortunate.
Yeah, that and the fact that it was 35% total voter turnout. So.
But still, she won the popular vote.
Yeah.
But
it is an argument, and we're on two different sides of it, and I'm just on that side right now, and I will eat my frosted wrong flakes.
Well, I just think as time goes on, like, the younger generations are just like way more with it and way more like, we've been saying that forever. We've been saying that forever, like the hippies and stuff of the 70s and stuff. But like, to be honest,
it's the millennials
they
that
were.
Did it. Yeah, it's the young people that did
but
this.
But even the hippies were, right? Like it was way more conservative in the 50s than it was in the 70s and then in the 80s, and we have been progressing.
Yep.
We had a massive regression though over the past 4 years.
Huge.
But now we might see more progression, you know what I mean? Like,
who I think would turn that page for you though, Jake? If she decided to run, you know who I think would be able to do it? And she's gone on record to say she never would? Michelle Obama.
Who's that? Yeah, everyone loves Michelle.
If she ran, I think
she's America's mother.
The young voters and the mothers would put her over the top. Because at the end of the day, dude, that's who really makes the decisions, is the young votes. And women and minorities are the ones that really put it over the top. Those are the deciding factors in these elections.
Well, and she's also just a super likable person. A lot of politicians, including Joe Biden, are just like not likable people. Where you're just like even Barack was like very likable, very likable person, but like Joe Biden, like not very likable. Hillary Clinton is sort of like, ugh.
They're a little stonewall. Don't you think a little stonewall? And when
and
Joe, Uncle Joe seems a little stonewall. Yeah, a little stonewall. Yeah. Very traditional. Where Obama was playing basketball in the back of the White House. You know what I'm saying? Very unconventional.
Yeah. And he was still, he was hip in the sense that like he's like your fucking dad. Yeah. Who's like sort of nerdy and shit.
Your basketball coach.
He's still cool.
And he still is.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what we're explaining, Jake? You know what we're explaining? We're explaining something that you and I don't have. Swag. That's what Obama had. Obama had swag.
I don't know if Obama had swag.
Obama, dude, everything we just explained. You ever see that
man dance?
He don't have to dance good. He got the hot chick already. He ain't got to dance good. Michelle Fox.
True.
Michelle Hot. He ain't got to dance no more. He can get old, he's fat, and gray now, but he's got the girl.
He's got dad swag for sure.
He is literally the modern day. I shouldn't compare it to the Cosby Show. I was gonna say modern day Cosby, perfect wife, perfect family, perfect kids, nice house, brownstone and Greenwich Village. But no, thanks, Bill. You ruined comparing any black family to the
Michelle
Cosby.
Is just so likable though. Yeah, she's just like,
and she's brilliant.
She's great at speaking and just like is good at talking to people. But yeah, I'd understand that she doesn't want to run for president.
She never will.
Because I remember old Obama talking about, like she was kind of not for me running for president.
She didn't want him to do it at first. They've said that. They've told that story several times, and I think it's in both of their books. Michelle's book has her viewpoint, and Barack's book, President Obama's book, has his viewpoint in it as well. But dude. I think that if someone was to turn that page, it would be Michelle.
She's barely a politician, too.
Oh, barely. So I think that's what made her just so. She's a politician adjacent.
Yeah.
Sure. I think as close as she's going to get to politics is through Barack. She never really dabbled in. I don't remember her ever getting involved in any of the politics when it came to her husband being president. I think she probably departmentalized it very well, where she was first lady.
She did some stuff for like education and health care reform.
And stuff like that. Eating health foods in schools and stuff like that. Okay, I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
That is politics, but.
But not policy or anything of that nature. Well, actually, it was policy because she was trying to change the food.
Yeah, she actually did change that too. She took my fucking spicy fries away my senior year of high school. That bitch.
Jay.
She took my spicy fries, Cory. You don't understand. It was the only good thing at that goddamn cafeteria.
Oh, my God.
Those goddamn spicy fries. She took them away. She gave me a fucking apple instead, like with like a brown spot on it. Fuck you, Michelle Obama.
Oh, Jay. How dare you? Over spicy fries. Wow.
You couldn't wait one more year? I was a senior. Couldn't wait one more year?
Yeah, I couldn't wait one more year. Oh, Michelle, you ruined Jake's senior year of high school.
And I still voted for your husband, begrudgingly, but I did it.
You voted for him, and then in the margin you wrote, spicy fry heifer.
I think someone who could have a good shot, she's very young, so like we have to give it time to really find out. But I think AOC could have a shot one day if she continues her political career. I know a lot of the people on the right hate her, but at the same time, right now, a lot of people on the right don't have a voice. So
they'll find their voice though, bro. Trust me, they will find their voice. The good thing about it is that a lot of people that Uncle Joe's going to have to deal with, he's dealt with before. He knows their ins and outs, and the fact that one party is really literally in full control with the deciding vote resting on someone of one party. And this is an unprecedented, we came out of an unprecedented time, an unprecedented administration, and we're headed into an unprecedented administration, because it has very, very, very seldomly where everything tilted to one side. And right now, everything is in the favor of the Democrats. But that can come back to bite them if they don't play it right, because then they can completely, totally alienate the right side, the other side. And I'm going to sound like a Democrat right now. They have to find a way to work in cahoots, or they can't just force things through, because then that's all that the Republican Party is going to ride in the next 4 years.
I think it really depends, because like depending on how success, I really think right now, specifically in our era, because normally I'd agree with you, like people would be butthurt about all that stuff. But right now, the main issue on everyone's mind is coronavirus and the lockdowns and all that stuff. So depending on how well Joe Biden handles the coronavirus, I think is a huge factor. If Joe Biden just if he is able to get some shit done and we can pass some stuff through the House and Senate and all that stuff, and he looks good at the end of it, and like in 2 years when all these people are up for re-election, if things are looking better in 2 years, we could see it happen again. I really do think it depends on how well things go over the next 2 years as far as coronavirus goes.
Well, the way that
and the economic restructure after we end coronavirus.
Yeah, because we're going to be in a huge hole, folks. These stimulus packages, yes, a lot of people are leaning and dependent on them, and they are helping to some extent. But folks, you got to realize that this is literally just this country deferring our mortgage payment. We're printing money that we can't back up right now. And we're going to have these $1 trillion packages. Folks, that's our national debt that we're going to see. And I believe that, the other side, the adversaries of Uncle Joe, they're going to play on that in 2 years. They're going to play on that in 4 years when he's up if he runs for re-election. Right now, all they have is, touting the fact that he's not going to live to see the 4 years because of his age. And I'm like, he's only 2 years older than the guy that you were just sucking the dick of.
Well, that's a question though. Like, do you think he will run again in 4 years? I kind of don't think he will.
I think he will.
Depending on if he's alive. I mean, he's old, man.
I mean, yeah, he's old, but dude, we just lost Larry King last week. And Larry King was
lost him today, actually.
I was trying to play the game to the fact that this show isn't going to air until Monday, but yeah, okay, we'll go with that. I was
lost him 2 days ago.
Yeah, and I think that because of Uncle Joe's dying passion to get to the presidency, I think that he will. And even if he is decrepit, and it may have a lot to do with, how much Cousin Cam steps up. It may have a lot to do with how much adversity he comes up against. Because there's one thing that I was thinking when he became the Democratic nominee, and Barack Obama and all the previous, well, not all of the previous presidents, but President Obama, President W. Bush, good seeing him too at the inauguration, and Slick Willie, Bill, they all went into the presidency looking their age and came out of the presidency aged. They say that the presidency in 8 years can age you 12 years. I don't know if we could, have Uncle Joe age 12 years in the presidency. So it's going to be a lot of, just look at the day of inauguration. They had him running from 7 a.m. till midnight and making appearances with Tom Hanks at the steps of the Jefferson Memorial. And I'm like, dude, Uncle Joe needs to, he's listening to Katy Perry and holding his grandkid. Uncle Joe, you need a nap. He needs to nap, take a nap, relax.
He really is Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. Get some Ovaltine and put your feet up in the White House once they de-Trumpifies it and take a break. I would hope that he would run in 4 years again if he actually took a day off. Is he a golfer? Do we even know if he plays golf? I don't think he plays golf.
I think it's in like the president handbook that you're supposed to play golf if you're president.
I think that he just needs to sit back, let Aunt Jill rub his feet a little bit. And is that bad that that's what I was thinking about during some of the points of the inauguration? I was like, I wonder what Aunt Jill and Uncle Biden's feet look like. I mean, you could just imagine that they're probably like the toes
bunions
of the Tyrannosaurus Rex in Jurassic Park. That's what I imagine they would probably look like, where he takes his shoes off and all you hear is, you know what I mean?
I think it's within everyone's best interest, though, if he just steps down in 4 years. And I think it's like, it would be like a humbling thing as well, where he'd be like, I'm going to step down. It's my time to go. I came in, I did what I had to do, and
well,
now
I think
it's time for someone else.
He's worked too hard to get to where he is. It's been a lifelong mission, and age at the end of the day, and to steal the words of my grandmother, age is nothing but a number. At the end of the day, he may be 800 years old, but he may feel as young as 400 years. So you never know. Yeah. You just absolutely never know. It also depends on who would possibly be.
I do think it depends on his health as well.
But he's in good health, though. They always have those health checks and stuff, and haven't heard
his
anything.
Replacement, they'd primary for it, and we could just, have a good old fashioned fucking president race.
Well said, Jake.
I can't speak.
I do think that I do think that if he does not run again, if he doesn't run again in 4 years, I think it's going to be a while before we see another Republican president.
I think because I think if he steps down in 4 years, we have the chance to get 8 more years of a Democrat. Where if he steps down in 8 years, I don't think we will see another Democrat get reelected in 8 years. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think we're going. I don't think we're going to see another Republican president for quite some time. I think the damage is so deep in that party right now. After the Rump
but I think
era,
it's easy to forget the damage after 8 years.
It's easy to forget the damage after 2 months.
Yeah, I don't think it's as easy to forget this damage, though, in 4 years when it's time for re-election.
Yeah.
I think it'll still be fresh on our minds at that point, especially since probably in 4 years, we're still barely going to be just getting over COVID, as much as I hate to say it. Like, we're going to be recovering from this for at least 4 years, I think.
If the Republicans step up, if the Republican Party and the voters step up in 2 years, and they rid themselves of the vial that's still attached to the Republican Party, like if they remove like their Ted Cruz's and stuff like that, people that supported a part of the Republican Party that the real Republican Party doesn't necessarily support, if they can rid themselves of those barnacles, and I think in 2 years when a lot of those positions are up for re-election, I think the Republican Party will be able to start to rebuild itself then.
It'd be great if in 4 years. Oh,
sorry, something big just fell over that I don't own.
Oh, okay. I think it'd be big though in 4 years. If, and I don't think this will happen, but I'm just like, this would be like best case scenario in my opinion, is if in 4 years we have 4 different primaries. We have like, Soak Dems or whatever. We have the Democrats, we have the Republicans, and then we have I guess they're going by like the Patriot Party, which are like the Trumpers and stuff. Yeah. Tea Party, whatever you want to call them.
That's going to dissipate. I think that party is going to dissipate.
But
they'll go back into the shadows.
Yeah, that's fine. But I think that's a good thing. If they ran as their own fucking party, they'd never win.
I think, it'd go the way of the Green Party. We don't hear much about the Green Party anymore. That was a big thing back in the day.
What I'm saying isn't like the Green Party, though, where the Green Party ultimately ran as independents.
Yeah.
I'm saying like we have a legitimate 4-party system now. Like that'd be pretty cool.
I don't want a 4-party. We can barely manage the 2-party.
Well, I think the 2-party is a huge problem.
Yeah,
because
but the whole country was built on that, though, Jake. The whole country was built on
it. Wasn't. It was not. I mean, I could pull up some fucking quotes of George Washington and Andrew Andrew Jackson? Was it Andrew Jackson?
I don't know.
Here, two-party systems, bad. Quote. You can fill the air if you want.
Yeah, I don't. I've heard this argument. I'm not familiar with this argument, but when you go that far back, you know what I mean.
So George Washington.
My people weren't doing much. Actually, they were doing everything.
True. However, political parties may now and then answer popular ends. They are likely in the course of time and things to become potent engines by which cunning, ambitious, and unprincipled men will be enabled to subvert the power of the people. That's a quote by George Washington.
Yeah, and we saw that happen. It almost really happened.
Here's our second president, John Adams. There is nothing which I dread so much as a division of the republic into two great parties, each arranged under its leader and concerting measures in opposition to each other. This, in my humble apprehension, is to be dreaded as the greatest political evil under our Constitution.
Right.
So, I mean, they've been warning us of the two-party system being the downfall of our Constitution forever, because what happens is we saw it happen firsthand, where we had two parties. Both parties weren't very happy, I think, 4 years ago with the two people we had to choose from. I don't think Democrats were very happy with Hillary, and I don't think people were very happy with Trump. But that was our options, and, you know, we have our political parties, and you just vote for which way you lie. And this is the problem with a duopoly, basically, is what it is. I don't know.
I always thought
if we could do away with,
I always thought a duopoly was, about four dudes just sitting around going doo wop, doo wop, doo 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 wop, doo wop, doo 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 wop, doo wop. Sorry, that's all I got. I have no counter argument to that. You're talking about the establishing fathers warning us about stuff that was going to happen, 200 years after they were here, and it's true. And the thing is it goes back to what, as I quote Grandma once again, if you don't learn from history, you're destined to repeat it. And that's literally, where we are in this country. And I don't know. To me, I mean, yeah, we're celebrating, a new administration and so forth. But at the root of it, I still believe that the America is just a ticking time bomb, just waiting, to implode upon itself. We'll eat ourselves from right? We'll eat ourselves from the inside out, slowly but surely. But in the meantime, we got Tom Hanks and John Legend and Lady Gaga stuck in what I can only imagine was a very large Stardew Valley pedal that I grew on my farm, and then we stuck Lady Gaga in the middle of it and sent her out to sing.
I love her.
I love her too.
So I want to bring this up. Have you heard about any of the stuff going on with Armie Hammer?
I have no idea who Armie Hammer is.
Armie Hammer is an actor. He is famous for... He was in that movie, Men from U.N.C.L.E. He was in The Social Network. He's been in all sorts of things. He almost played Batman. I don't know. He's a big actor. But some allegations have come out against him, and the only reason I bring it up is because honestly I don't give a shit about Armie Hammer either. Mm-hmm. But these allegations are just so fascinating that they boggle my mind, and they sound so ridiculous that you almost discredit them. So the allegations that are coming out about him are multiple ex-girlfriends have come out and said that he fetishizes cannibalism, and one girl claimed that he carved an A into her body. One person is claiming that he repeatedly offered to have one of her ribs removed so he could eat it in front of her. Just all sorts of weird shit. Super fucking strange. I've never heard anything like this. One
Sounds
person
like
was
he's
saying,
a freak in the bed.
yeah, some person was saying like their relationship was straight up 50 Shades of Grey, where
Nice.
she would leave with bruises and scrapes, and there were times where he would bite her and she would have to like scream for him to stop, and he would be like, I'm glad you told me to stop, otherwise I would have bitten a chunk of skin out of you. And like,
he's a freak.
Just fucking weird, man.
I'm down with it.
Yeah, I guess the question is like, if he's open and honest about it, is it bad?
I think
so.
I don't think it's bad.
I don't know. It's so weird.
It's not weird because check this out. There are people. What he's bad at, what Armie is bad at, is finding people that don't like his freak side. I have met people that are freaky now, taking a rib out of somebody allegedly, or biting someone a little too hard where you take a chunk out of their body. You know, that's all alleged and stuff, but there are people that are out there that really do. I mean, that you can put asphyxiation in that. There are dudes out there that will treat themselves like an amusement park. As soon as the ride is about to complete, as I speak in metaphors, as soon as the ride is about to complete, they tighten the belt around their neck. You know what I mean? There's all kind of weird ass fetishes that are out there. And the reason why they exist and they continuously exist is because those people that want that weird fetish in their life have to find other people that are willing to accept that weird fetish in their life and feed into it. There's even people out there that like to, get fat people, and they call them feeders. And they just feed someone because they get off on the mass of the human body. Now, if any people out there that are listening to this, my name is Cory Blaze. You could reach me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
So here's what one of his ex-girlfriends said. Right away, he definitely did get into things and had me doing things that weren't my norm.
What's this guy's name? I want to Google his face. What's his name? Armie what?
Armie Hammer.
Armie.
He wanted me to only call him sir or daddy in the bedroom. He's obviously a very kinky person, and he made that very clear to me. But I thought it was going to be fun and safe. He was talking about finding a doctor to remove my ribs that I don't need, the ribs that are on the bottom, and that he had a smoker at his house. He wanted to smoke them and eat them. He wondered how they would taste, and he basically was like, I bet you they would taste good.
Does he have a movie coming out soon?
He was actually, and this is what's super strange about it, because there's more to this story. Because he was about to do a movie with J-Lo, right? And then these allegations came out against him, and he quickly dropped from the movie. And his statement was that he wanted to drop from the movie because he wanted to be with his family. That's a weird way to respond if you have nothing to hide. It's very strange. And then also recently something happened where apparently police got involved over a secret Instagram account that he has, and police had to come to his house. Apparently he got arrested, but like now I guess the case is closed. I guess there was some weird thing happening with a secret Instagram account that he has. No one knows the full details there, but the fact that the police are getting involved is pretty suspect behavior.
This dude ain't hot. This dude ain't hot enough to be this kind of a freak.
I mean, he's like okay looking, right? I mean,
he's okay, but
he's
not.
He's like soap opera handsome, right?
I don't know. He was in a movie called Call Me by My Name, where he played Oliver. I'm trying to find a relatable thing that I saw. I remember seeing the movie Call Me by Your Name, but I don't remember him in particular. And I'm just Google imaging him, and there's nothing spectacular about this dude. So I don't. He played
the Lone Ranger in the Lone Ranger movie few years ago with
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
You know how I am with movies.
He was in The Social Network, which is a great movie. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
all very
he's just a
super
a
weird.
regular dude, and yeah, you're right. He's he's soap opera handsome, and that's about it. Yeah, but he's not hot enough to be this weirdo. He just looks sadistic. I don't know. I mean, it's all hearsay, and some of where are you?
Yeah,
where,
exactly.
Where are you quoting this from? Because when I pulled up his picture, a whole lot of rags like the Sun and Toronto Sun and Daily Mail, and those are a lot of lead Google hits for.
Well,
this
yeah,
story.
I got it. I got it from where I get all my gossip news, Cory.
Fox?
Cosmopolitan magazine. I mean, it's gossip news, so of course it's not going to come from like NBC.
I mean, people are freaks, dude. People are
Washington
freaks,
Post
and there are times, and I know people that work in the medical industry where they get people
But
that
like,
come into the
where's
ER.
that line? Where do you draw the line as far as like cannibalism though? Like,
Well, anytime you're trying to eat, dude, there's people out there that eat humans.
yeah, but that's not legal in America.
It's
So,
not
like,
legal in America, but neither is murder. But murder still happens. There are people out there that are just sick and sadistic.
right? But we'd call it out if it happens. So like that's what we're doing here.
I think that when it's stuff that is this dark, I don't think it gets called out in a legitimate
Right.
way because
That's why-
it'd give it legitimacy.
That's why I'm not going too hard on him because I don't know that there's obviously some missing pieces here, but it is super fucking weird.
It's super weird to you, but to me, yeah. I mean, it's super weird to me as well.
I mean, the fact that
I
the
just
police
know
got
that they're-
involved is fucking weird.
I
man.
mean, police get involved in domestic situations all the time. But I
And the
just
girl-
think that
and
there are
also,
levels
I
of freaks
should-
out there that we may or may not be aware of.
I should point out that the girl who said that he carved an A into her, like, did not consent to that. He just fucking did it. He like branded an A into her.
And that's a problem.
So-
Maybe he branded an A. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that it was on her ass, so he would know that A stands for ass. Maybe that's what he was doing. Maybe he's a literacy major.
Well, I think A stands for Armie, right? Like his
Oh,
name.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together.
I don't know. Like, it's one of those things, though, like, where this stuff comes out, and it's like, these are the things that came out. So, like, what's happening when, like, stuff that we haven't heard about? You know what I mean? Like, that's always the question.
That is always a question. And the only reason why we're talking about this is because of his star power. But I believe that there are people that are like the alleged people that do the alleged things that Armie Hammer is accused of, that do it every day, and we just don't hear about it because they're not stars. You know what I mean? They're Trump supporters.
Well, yeah, of course. But like, I think if you have a platform, it's important as us as professional journalists, to
you have to carry yourself in a certain credence because of what you do. You know what I mean? Like, if people start to find
not even
out,
that, it's just like if you're doing something illegal and no one knows who you are, of course that's not going to be newsworthy because you don't have a platform. You're not affecting anyone else. But him potentially having a platform and being a huge successful person, and you're potentially eating people. Maybe we should deplatform this person.
Don't we all kind of eat people though? Don't we all kind of do it?
Yeah, but that's like saying we talk about the president, but then there's all these mayors, we don't talk about them, and it's like, well, yeah, but because,
they're jagaloons. They're jagaloons. You know what I mean? Look how well they're handling the vaccine rollout. You know what I mean? One quick question, Jake.
We're also an entertainment podcast, so of course we're going to talk about some weird entertainment.
Of course, because that's what we do.
I'm just saying that argument of there's all these other people doing it. It's like, who cares? That's not what we're talking about.
I think that he's hot enough to be freaky, and and he does have an upcoming movie according to Google, Dreamland. This could also be some
publicity stunt.
A publicity stunt. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
It's a weird publicity stunt.
It could be a weird publicity stunt, but it's gotten the rags talking, and the people are reading the rags. And if people weren't reading the rags wouldn't be around. So you know, and you know what I've always said: there's no such thing as bad publicity.
True. Well, I think these days that's changing. But anyway,
nah, his Twitter account's been suspended.
Exactly. That's why I think it's a little different these days. Like, you don't see rock stars like we used to, where like rock stars would destroy hotels, because nowadays we're like, that's fucked up. Why would you do that?
Yeah, they don't destroy hotels anymore because it's normally the rock star's credit card that's now on that room, and that little incidental charge will come back on them. But I don't know, man. There are some freaky people that are out there, and this is maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. I've never heard of him up to this point before you even brought him up. I probably have maybe seen him, but like I saw the movie Call Me by Your Name, but I don't remember him. So I don't know, and that's the only movie that I see on his IMDb that I've even remotely aware of.
Well. Armie Hammer, if you're eating people, maybe just stop. You just like don't do that.
That's, you know what, Jake. That's your catchphrase. That's your what you're talking about. Will this moment? Just stop. That's your thing. Just stop.
Just stop. Just don't do that.
Just stop.
It's a weird play.
Can I make one suggestion before we go?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have the fix-all for the vaccine scheduling internet issue. Please, okay. Uncle Joe, call up Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster has the website that would work perfectly for vaccine scheduling. Because when you go to Ticketmaster, you go in and a little clock pops up. And you got 3 minutes to make your final purchase. If you don't, it goes back in the pot. Somebody get Ticketmaster on the phone and have them redo these coronavirus vaccine scheduling websites. Because having the little intern in the basement of these Capitol buildings across this country design these websites clearly ain't working. We need Ticketmaster, because Ticketmaster serves the people that are internet smart. And there's also still an 800 number for Ticketmaster. One of the problems that we have with this vaccine rollout, we started 10 years ago when we started undoing and moving call centers out of America. Old people need phone numbers. They need to call someone, and we need someone to sit on a Ticketmaster built website for these vaccines and get these old people registered. Old people don't internet very well. Why do you think they're struggling with this? And then they don't internet well, and then the internet itself, the website itself, is archaically built and horribly designed. Ticketmasters and call centers. That would get the scheduling problem fixed. Uncle Joe, this is your boy Cory Blaze. Hire Ticketmaster to redo the website, make it a federal website where people can go in, select their state, and just like you do, because I can go on Ticketmaster and I can buy concert tickets for a concert that's being held in Sarasota, Florida. Ticketmaster and call centers. There, I've solved the vaccine scheduling issue. It wasn't that hard. And I'm just a podcaster that eats people and brand C's on their asses.
I think that's a great idea. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, that's a great idea.
That'll fix it, dude.
If we can hire companies to make PPE and stuff, you know, like we hire like miscellaneous companies to make PPE. We could definitely hire Ticketmaster to just like, just set it up like it's a concert event.
Yep.
And the where you fill out the ticket information is like you put your insurance or whatever. And there you go. Yep. It's all set up. You're good to go.
Yeah, and Ticketmaster, they know how many tickets are available. They know how to block the bots to come in and book out all of the previous concerts. I'm telling you, dude, you never have a problem not getting a ticket to a concert if a ticket is available. Ticketmaster needs to redo these vaccine sites.
I personally had no issue signing up for my vaccine. It's a very simple website.
I didn't either, but
I had no issue. But like,
old
I think
people,
just the fact that it's Ticketmaster I think people would, get on board with that.
Well,
I think that's a great idea.
Ticketmaster doesn't even have to have their name brand on it. They just need to, their algorithm, their way of designing the website, the way that a Ticketmaster website works is flawless. It gets you first available, closest seats. It gives you dates. You don't have to keep selecting different dates. It's really easy. And you got a time limit. And if you don't act fast enough in that time limit, guess what? It resets that shit for you. And then you go back into the queue. We need to do the same. Ticketmaster needs to take that. Somebody needs to call Ticketmaster. And then we need to get a call center set up in Mesa, Arizona.
Someone needs to call Ticketmaster.
Mesa, Arizona. They got a lot of space out there. We need to put up a call center. We need to build a federal 1-800 number where everybody can call. And this is going to do two things. One, it's going to help the old people schedule their vaccines. And two, it's going to get people to work. Matter of fact, we don't even need a call center in Mesa. Guess what? Everybody's got call centers in their home. They got little headsets. Hire people. Hire people to sit at home and they're called online schedulers. They have this position in every hospital on the country. Online schedulers that are working in one major database that is connected to the Ticketmaster design vaccine website. Boom, bam, Joe, hire me. Uncle Joe, I need a job. Uncle Joe, I got you. I got you on the. This is going to cement your presidency, Uncle Joe. Ticketmaster call centers. Holla at your boy, Uncle Joe. Cousin Cam, put in a good word for me.
I'm Jacob Woods, and I approve this message. Oh God, I flubbed the joke. Let's end the show. Make sure you check out. Make sure you check out the other Lonercast shows. We got the Loner Gamecast happening every Tuesday. We got this show every Monday, and all sorts of other fun stuff. Also, check me out on Twitch. Lonercast, twitch.tv/Lonercast. You'll find me there. We're gonna start doing the Loner Gamecast live every Monday. So definitely come check us out. It's going to be fun. Bye-bye.